This is what men crave and the type of women that they love to commit to. So today I'm going to go over and give you points on the type of women men crave and commit to, the characteristics of it, and exactly how you can become, even some of you that already are, can understand exactly how to position yourself to get that man that you desire. So I want to give you a couple of points on it. First, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. And please forgive me, I've been doing a lot of coaching this week, so my voice doesn't sound, it sounds a little raspy, so forgive me for that. Thank you, Adora support. Welcome in, everyone. I'm going to jump right into the type of women men crave and love to commit to. Valerie, how are you? Good morning today. Today I'm going to be doing it on my own. Natasha's been busy, so she did her master class. She's preparing for the master class tomorrow. So ladies, make sure tomorrow 9 a.m. Master class on money energetics. But let me go ahead and jump right into this. The first type of woman that men crave and love to commit to is the type of woman that's not dependent on him to make her happy. And this has so many layers to it. So we understand that being in a relationship, it does cause joy. It makes you happy to be with someone who loves you, someone who's willing to do whatever it takes to be with you, to make you feel special. But it's important that, ladies, you come into the relationship happy, whole, complete within yourself. And that'll make us really want to even do even more for you to make sure you stay in that place and even get to a new place. But your happiness isn't dependent on us coming in and doing anything specific, because you're already content and happy within yourself. And I understand that even in relationships, okay, when men are taking care of everything, when they're protecting you, when they're providing, when they're paying all the bills, when they're making life a lot easier and getting you out of your head, that makes you happy. But we have to understand, don't put that responsibility on him, because you've already been doing these things for yourself. You've already been taking care of yourself. You've already been taking care of your mental health. You've already been taking care of things around the house. He's coming in, making that load lighter, but your dependence, you're not waiting around saying, okay, once I get into a relationship and he starts doing that for me, he starts taking the kids to sports, he starts doing this and that, then I'll become happy. And I'll tell you a little even about Natasha and I. When we got together, of course, we all know that she had 4 children. Her previous husband passed away because of an illness. He died of cancer. So she was doing a lot of that on her own as far as taking care of everything around the house. But it was important for me, even before we got together, to know that it wasn't dependent on me coming in to be Superman. And now she's happy. Now she's smiling. Now she's enjoying herself. When we were in the dating phase and we were dating long distance, she was going out with friends. Like we mentioned plenty of times, we would be talking on the phone and she would tell me she had dates planned. Now, again, I don't know what dates mean. It could have been dates with her daughter. It could have been dates just going out by herself, getting away. It could have been anything, but at that point, I couldn't question. But I also respected the fact that she wasn't just sitting around doing nothing, hoping someone comes to rescue and save her. She was enjoying herself. She was living life. She was happy within herself. So when I came into the picture and when I started coming around, she made adjustments. We started doing more things together after I officially moved to Canada to be with her, but she was already happy. So if I didn't move, she would have still been happy. She might have found a different way to go about it, maybe would have been with someone else, but it wasn't dependent on me. So that's the key thing, because men don't want that burden of having to keep you happy. Okay, he's paying the bills. That makes you feel good. That makes you excited. You're happy about that. But as things change, we don't want your emotions to change based on, like, okay, you were doing this at first, now you're not doing this, so now I'm not excited. And I've seen, and I believe some of you ladies have seen it as well. Maybe some of you men that are on here have seen. I've seen different ladies over, and this is online, where their men were taking care of everything. They were happy. Things changed, and the relationship changed. So that's not where we want to go with it. You want the healthy provider, strong protector man. Come in whole, come in healthy, come in happy. He's going to help you take it to the next level, hopefully, coming in doing what he does, but it's not dependent on him. So make sure, if you want the man to crave you and commit to you, make sure your happiness isn't dependent on him. That's what's so key for us. So definitely, ladies, let me know how you think about that. I want to give you a couple more points on that as well. Just want to say hey to a couple of the ladies. Looks like Walking in Love 24 and Valerie as well. Good morning to you all. We're going to jump right into the next one. And again, afterwards, we're going to go deeper into it. Afterwards, we're going to go deeper into the questions. Again, last week, some of you ladies that are on here may have jumped on our masterclass where we really talked about the communicating side of relationships, which is linked to it as well. We did a masterclass on that. That's in the Feminine Energy Academy, so you can check out that replay as well. And again, the Feminine Energy Academy, just real quick, right now, the community, we have a 7-day free trial. So jump in there. All the old master classes are in there. The Princess Bundle, everything that's within the Princess Bundle is in the Feminine Energy Academy as well. So it's a free 7-day trial. The link is below. Me and Adora Support just added the link. Jump in. Everything that someone who's paying for it has access to, you have access to it during that trial period. So jump into it. So I'll jump right into myself. I'll jump into the number two point behind how you can become the woman that men crave and want to commit to. Now I know a lot of you ladies are, I'm a little out of order with how I usually say it, but I didn't forget the top point. We're going to get to that third, so don't go anywhere with that. But the second point is so key. It's a woman that respects himself and respects herself. So the respect is not just in word, but how she carries herself. A woman that allows the man to have space to be himself. And that's a way that we can really feel like we're respected, where you're not down his back, you're not giving out instructions. And especially for ladies that have been in single moms for a while, that have been taking care of a lot of business, that may be CEOs, supervisors, or may run their own business. Women that are used to giving out instructions and used to being in their masculine in a few areas, coming into it, respecting the man is in word and in deed. So allowing him to lead, allowing him, even if you don't agree necessarily with the opinions or things that he's saying, not being combative. And it's a way that you can actually let him know that you don't agree without being combative, because as men, we don't think that we're always right. We know that sometimes we don't get it all right, but just sharing that in love and staying in your feminine as you're sharing those thoughts about, okay, maybe you can do things this way, or maybe, have you tried to do things this way? Have you thought about this? So just really being careful with your words, being respectful in your relationship, allowing him to be the man and to be the final decision maker. Not to say that you don't have a role in it, but if you're going around making all the decisions, because you're the strong one, you're the smarter one. Because a lot of times, most of the time, in a lot of cases, women are very smart and women have great ideas. But going around and leading with that doesn't make the man feel like the man. Even if he's the provider, the strongest, the healthiest man, if you're walking around in that energy, not respecting him, a lot of times he might not even push back, because men, for the most part, believe what we see. So if you're showing us something, we're not going to try to change you. We'll just change locations. We'll change where we're at before we try to change you because we know this may be who she is. I'm not going to fight with her to get my respect. I'm not going to go back and forth and banter with her to get my respect from the relationship. She's coming in respectful. I'm respecting her. I'm respecting her thoughts, her opinion, who she is as a person. And that is reciprocated and we can be okay. But if it's just a lot of back and forth, most healthy masculine energy men are going to change locations and you're going to wonder why he may ghost you. But if you want him to be committed to you and to crave you, just being respectful to him, just having conversations, not always feeling like you need to have the last word. And not only respecting him in the relationship, but being someone that he feels comfortable bringing around people that he loves. So being respectful, understanding how to communicate, how to talk, right? Not always not using foul language or things like that that really makes him feel a certain way. Because when we hear foul language as a man, we kind of get our chest up and like, okay, this means like this person is serious. Now we may switch into more of a let me protect myself mode because I'm not sure what they're capable of. And that's why we're really super careful about how we talk to each other as men. And that type of respect towards each other and in a relationship is really helpful. And not only that, but also being respectful in how you carry yourself and how you dress. There's no right or wrong way to dress or carry yourself, but based on having those conversations with each other or knowing who your man, because sometimes different men are okay with different things. So understanding what he likes to see you in potentially, because that plays a role in him. I'm sorry about that. All the coaching and the talking this week has really affected my voice, but we're all good. But just what he likes, how he likes to see you dressed. Not to say that you can't have your own style, but really in those relationships, getting to know someone, we want to feel like if we're out together, when we're together, that we don't have to go around protecting you because maybe you're dressed a certain way. And it's nothing wrong if you want to dress that way, but understand the man you're with, we're taking on a responsibility of protecting you. And if we're protecting you, some things can be avoided. So just having those conversations like, okay, how does this look? Do you think this is nice? And if he said, whatever he says, it's up to you guys to make that decision. That's definitely something. Well, first off, my wife helps to dress me. Like whatever, shirts she likes, we'll buy those shirts. Because even as we were going through our closet this week, I have about 20 shirts of each color, 20 blue shirts, 20 gray shirts, 20 white shirts. So she helps to dress me. And then when we're together as well, she may ask me, what do you think about this? It's ultimately her decision. But because she wants to be respectful of our relationship, she'll ask me, and whatever opinion I have, she'll either decide like, okay, no, I think this is okay. But in most cases, she'll say, well, I'll change if you don't think this is nice. But most of the time, it's not an issue because we've had those conversations. She knows what I like. I know what she likes to wear. And we kind of even made the decision as well. Let's go shopping for exactly what both of us like. Right? That's the reality, because you come into the relationship and you like one thing, she likes another. That's like going grocery shopping. I eat certain foods, she eats certain foods, but when we get in a relationship, now we have to go shopping to get what both of us likes. So out of respect, we've made decisions, let's go shopping and get what both of us like. So both of us can be happy, so it's not any issues in that area. And that's, even though that can be kind of a touchy topic because, everybody's like, well, look, I'm a grown person. I can do what I want to do. If you don't like how I look, if you don't like how I dress, then kick rocks. Well, he can kick rocks, but you'll probably be by yourself because no healthy man is going to feel comfortable or feel respected if you're just doing whatever you want to do. if you're going to the grocery store and you're just getting the foods you like, that doesn't work. You have to consider the kids. You have to consider your spouse. So in the same way, if you're going shopping and this is how you've been dressing for 20 years, I like feeling this way. Oh, well, he got to get with the program. She got to get with the program. You're going to be on your own with that program. So understand this is what helps make men feel respected, because we also know, as I stated, that we have to protect you, and not from anyone touching you necessarily, anything like that. But when we're out, people say stuff. People may try to come up and say something slick to the man. And again, we don't feel respected. And if that man isn't healed and healthy and done his work, he's going to be running around here in a lot of fights because he's not taking it. He ain't got time for it. And men coming up to him saying slick stuff, and he's fighting for you. And now now we're going down a total different road. So trust me in that area. Talk to your man about how you're dressing, about what he likes, what you like. Make those adjustments, and he'll crave and want to commit to you. All right? So let me see what some of the comments are. Yolanda, happy Friday. I'm going to get to the third point shortly. Again, I've been coaching a lot this week. So I may need some tea. That'll be good for me. Again, tomorrow's masterclass on money energetics. Make sure you jump into the Feminine Energy Academy. We have a free 7-day trial. Link below. Link below for the free 7-day trial. You get all access for 7 days. No commitments. Cancel anytime. So if you want to be a part of tomorrow's Money Energetics, it's Money Energetics, right?
Yeah, money wounds, healing money wounds, expanding your money energetics.
Healing money wounds and expanding your money energetics. Tomorrow's masterclass is going to be on point. Natasha's going to do it with the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. So go ahead and jump on that free trial. And once you jump on the free trial, you have access to it tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time. You're on a solo program, Yolanda. It's the reality of it. Hey, thanks, T, to the shirt game. This is actually a shirt that Natasha, as we're talking about, Natasha picked it out. She liked one of the other colors that I had, and she was like, let's get those in multiple colors. So, again, you have to be flexible. You have to be willing to do what each other likes, not just what you want to wear. Because yes, she's done a lot of shopping lately. Because I would wear a white T-shirt every day. Right, just a white T-shirt. I would just buy a pack of white T-shirts for 5 days, and then I would rotate those again. So thanks, Tasha, for helping to change me in that area. Yeah, I've done a little shopping. She's done a lot of shopping. So she has a whole new wardrobe almost coming into the marriage. So thank God for new wardrobes. And again, this is water in here. I know the red cup brings ideas. I'm not on here sipping. I'm on here drinking water because of my throat. So I'm going to get to the third point shortly. Let me get a little sip of water, please. Great. I'm feeling good now. So the way you make men crave and want to commit to you, the number 3 point. And most of the time I throw this at number 1. Everything I said, from not depending on him to make you happy, from being respectable, respecting him, also you being respectable, those are point 1A and point B. But without this point number 3, none of that really matters. And this is really looking good. I know a lot of times it's tough because that's always, why do I need to look good? He gonna accept me for who I am, and on and on and on. But after you get done, just make sure you're looking good, because because for men, that's what catches our eye. That's what gets the attention when we're walking down the street, when you're in the grocery store. Now, it would be great if you were in the grocery store and someone came over to you, and this may happen now and again, someone came over to you and said, I love the way that you were reading that book. I can tell you're so intelligent. I love it. I really want to get to know you. Now, they may say that to you, but it'll be after they look at you. So understand, you don't have to be a supermodel. You don't have to be what society says is gorgeous. You just have to take care of yourself. You have to get yourself done up to the best of your ability. So if it's throwing on a little makeup, if it's getting your teeth cleaned, if it's making sure your hair is done, and when I say done, that means not always slicked back, right? It can be slicked back and not a hair is out of place. But you want to make sure that your hair is done. We can see you in different ways, not just always in your I'm headed to the gym look. Not always in your, I'm just relaxed. I just need to grab some groceries. I got my hat on with a ponytail in the hole. That's, men will approach you. But just always making sure you're looking good, changing up looks as well. Because men love variety even within the one woman that they're with. So looking good, taking care of your body. So that could mean going to the gym. That could mean working out at home. And listen, size matters to some men, but men in general like all sizes, all shapes, as long as you're healthy. As long as you're healthy, your skin is looking good. All of this matters. Nails are done, no chip, nail polish. The big toe look like it need look like you need to do something to it. No. Make sure you're on point as far as keeping yourself up and keeping, staying clean, just making sure you're doing as much as you can to be presentable, and always in a position like if you ran into someone while you were out, how would they respond? So every time you leave the house, even if it's a t-shirt and some jogging pants, making sure you're on point and making sure you're presentable, because the last thing you want is, and we've had this before, where we've gone out and it's like, oh, I didn't expect to run into this person. I'm not, maybe this isn't done or that isn't done. But if you're always on point, especially as a lady who's single, who's looking to get into a relationship with a healthy masculine energy man, you want to be on point. Now, once you get into a relationship, we're not expecting you to be on point 24/7. We know you go to sleep. We know you wake up. You have to take the makeup off, all of that. But always doing what you've always done to even get him. It's important that you keep that up. It's important that you don't just start losing yourself and saying, okay, well, I got him. Now I can kind of fall back. No, keeping those gym memberships, even through the winter. Keep the gym membership year round. Get your toes done year round. These are things that are going to have him craving you and wanting to commit and stay committed to you. Let me see. I love the way you read that. Man, I'm telling you, Tisa, I haven't met a man who's commented to a woman like that who doesn't look the way that is presentable and that he's attracted to. Because like I said, men are attracted to everything. I mean, you talk to most men, and most men are willing to talk to and be with most type of women. I have men that love bigger women. I know men that love like small women, men that love just any type of woman, lighter complected, dark complected. So don't try to be someone else. Be yourself, but make sure that you're the best version of yourself. Yeah, Natasha's laughing in the background for sure because she understands even with us, we have some times where it's like, okay, let me make sure I'm presenting myself, and this is me specifically. Make sure, if I need to put some oil on my face, like this morning, my face was dry as heck. This morning, I thought I was looking good. I washed my face, did everything, and she told me my face was dry. So those are the things you have to be willing to do if you want the guy to crave you and commit to you.
And that's why we have weight loss programs.
Yes, that's definitely. And even for you ladies, I know summer's coming, and it's probably you're getting in those groups, you're doing your 90-day weight loss challenge, things like that. That's why we have, even within the Feminine Energy Academy, we have the 90-day. What do we have, babe? We have a few 90-day things in there.
90-day hormone weight loss challenge.
90-day hormone weight loss challenge. That's one.
90-day hourglass body.
Now 90-day hourglass body, and as she would do the 90-day hourglass
You guys
body.
love the hourglass body.
Yes, and we have competition as well. In April, we're going to crown the winner of these competitions. But also, these are things that are available in the Feminine Energy Academy just by joining. So you can do those at your own pace. We have food plans in there. We have everything you need because we know that the ladies that are in the Feminine Energy Academy, the ladies that are following and watching our lives, these are the ladies where we're going to be going to these weddings, ladies that are going to be getting engaged. And these are the steps that not only Natasha has taken, not just for me, but just throughout her life as she's made adjustments in her life. She's focused on different areas. This is just her blueprint to what she was able to do. And she's given all this away within the Feminine Energy Academy. And plus we have just the community, the coaching community within the Feminine Energy Academy. So any questions about maybe food plans or what should I eat, you can ask the ladies in there who've done it. We've had ladies in there losing 19 pounds in a couple of months, ladies losing 10 pounds, 6 pounds in a week. So ladies are seeing the results. It's because they're making these commitments and they understand.
Women in there that have lost over 100 pounds.
Yeah, and also thank you for telling me, women in there that have lost over 100 pounds. So we're not just telling you this stuff because we want you to, we think you should be this size or that. No, these are proven results from the ladies in the community. And also, I'm a man and I understand that men love to see something that attracts their eye. Once we see that, then we'll get to know how great of a reader you are. Then we'll get to know how good you are sewing. But we don't want to hear about that if you don't look the way that's desirable to us. None of that matters. You'll be friend zoned. You'll be someone who they reach out to just when they have a little free time or whatever the case is. But you won't be someone that they crave and commit to if you're not willing to make those changes in those 3 areas specifically. So let me answer a few questions. See, we got a lot of comments so far. Keep up with the skincare, ladies. Yes, I had a lady compliment my skin today. My nails are polished. My hair is done. Coach B speaking facts. Toes are done year round too. And this is one more thing as well, and maybe Tisa can help you ladies with it. I've had to deal with it, but the back of your foot, that's that skin on the back of your foot, when it rubs against the ground sometimes, or when you don't moisturize it. So Tisa maybe can help you with it, but make sure you keep that up as the summer is coming when wearing more open-toe shoes. If women are complimenting you, Tisa, men see it. So make sure we know how important that is. I just wanted to throw that out there, just a little side note for you ladies. And can't say I didn't give you any extra tips, but I want to make sure I answer some questions now. So any questions, Adora support, any questions that I didn't see, please put at the top. Remember, tomorrow's masterclass on money energetics, and I keep forgetting specifically, babe.
Yeah, healing money blocks.
And healing money blocks, money patterns. You might be someone who's seen a lot of income come in, but it seems like it goes right out the door. You may not understand how to balance things. And even Natasha, after her husband passed, before he was taking care of all the finances, and after he passed, she kind of had to start over and learn everything fresh. So it's important to know that you have to get this, that even if you're not taking care of the finances, get an understanding of how money works, the money energetics. So if you ever have to be in a position, or even if you just desire to know more about it, you're in a position where you know how to pay bills, you know how to take care of stuff, you know how to allocate. It's important that you know the energetics, the energetics behind money, and also just attracting clients, just attracting new clients. Sometimes because we may not have things in order financially, like have maybe our books in order, that can energetically block you from new clients. So you want to make sure things are in order, that you have whatever cards, whatever bank accounts you need, because these sound simple, but trust me, a lot of people deal with this when they become single, or just if they're doing a lot. If you're taking care of a family, a household, you got to pay this bill. It's hard to grow if you don't have structure around your money.
And it's a lot of nervous system.
Yes, and a lot of nervous system re-regulation. Thanks so much. So TR tomorrow's master class is at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Hopefully everyone has already pushed your clocks up from last week. I know we woke up and the clocks it was an hour later or something, and we didn't know. So make sure you push your clocks up so you can make it on time tomorrow. So any questions concerning the top 3 things about how men will want to crave you and commit to you? Any questions right now, just go ahead and throw it out there. Or any questions that you have, definitely this is the time. So let me get another sip of water. One more. Hey, going back into really like expanding in the area of coaching this week has definitely been an adjustment in my voice, on my body. So, just work with me, please. So, any questions? Again, the Feminine Energy Academy is we have a free 7-day trial now. Jump in. We're not sure how long the trial is going to go. We'll just play it by ear. We'll see how the response is, and we'll make a decision. But don't wait around for the last minute and then ask, okay, is it still going on? No, jump in today, get the free trial, and just check us out and see how you like it. Cancel anytime, definitely. This is for the separated ladies. This is from Sammy Jewell. Sammy's in the community. For those separated, do you guys recommend divorcing, dating during? I'm sorry, Sammy, can you kind of clarify that question? So are those 2 separate questions, or what exactly are you trying to say? Because I want to make sure that I give the correct response. But when you're separated, I'm guessing you're asking something about, should we continue dating, or how do we go about it if we're getting a divorce? Please clarify that, so because I'm sure a few ladies that are listening are dealing with some of the same challenges, relationship challenges, where you may be at a point where things have gotten stagnant and you have to make decisions. You all have talked about maybe going in a different direction within the relationship, and you're kind of in that uncomfortable, awkward position in the relationship. So if someone's married, separates, straight to divorce, date rotationally. So if you're separated and then go right into getting a divorce, now we definitely believe in a union of marriage. And if it comes to that for whatever reason and you made that decision, then definitely you have to move on with your life. But definitely I would say, unless it's an abusive situation or something that's just beyond reconciliation, and you've gone through the process, then whatever you do is your decision. But it's important, before dating rotationally, you deal with what happened on why you got separated or why you got divorced. So a lot of times I understand the other spouse, they could have done some tough, bad things. They could have cheated on you. They could have done whatever the case is. But you have to make sure that your response, that you're not doing things out of hurt. You're not doing things out of anger. You deal with how that made you feel. So if it made you feel a certain way and you just move on because you weren't the reason why you got divorced, then you're still going to attract the same type of people. But you have to deal with it. Take a step back. Who knows how long it takes? It can take 6 weeks. It can take 6 months. It can take a year or two. make sure you deal with what happened. And that can be joining groups like the Feminine Energy Academy where you have a platform to be able to talk about it. It could be getting professional help. It could be whatever the case is, but deal with what happened. And again, until you're divorced, which we don't, we're not in favor of divorce, but if you make that decision that you've made, until you divorce, it's been one of those things where, okay, we haven't really been together for the last 8 months or year anyway. So once that we divorce, I'm ready to move on. Until it's official, you haven't dealt with what needs to be dealt with because you're still connected to this person. You're still potentially living with this person. You may have kids with this person and you're still having conversations because you have to kind of work around what the kid needs. So until it's official, you haven't dealt with it, and don't rush into the next relationship. Make sure you're healed, you're healthy, you're whole. You might need to discover some more stuff about yourself. If you've been married for 10, 15, 20 years and you got married in your 20s, it may be a time where it's like, let me discover what I like in life at this point. Let me discover who I am as a person, because who you are and what you like will attract the right type of person. But if you're just going right back, like I need to get back on the dating scene, I don't want to be by myself, whatever the case is. And I'm not speaking to you, Sammy, I'm just speaking in general. If you go into it too quickly, then a lot of times what needed to be learned wasn't learned, and you'll repeat what happened in the last relationship, and it'll be just that cycle. So going straight into rotationally dating, I would say first deal with what happened, and then you'll know. It's not a time limit. You'll know when you've dealt with what needs to be dealt with. People around you will start saying you look different, you sound different, you're talking different, you attract different type of people. Then go into it. I know for myself, I was formally engaged back in 2019. We broke off the engagement, and I didn't seriously date again until I dated Natasha. So I didn't realize how long it was, but it was like maybe 3-4 years before I seriously dated again. And she was the first person I seriously dated, and we got married. But it was some things that I still needed to deal with. Yeah, and I was the first person she seriously dated, because she lost her husband in 2019, the same year that my engagement broke off. So both of us went through our own journey and dealt with what we needed to deal with within ourselves. So when we came to each other, we were in a better place. We had better understanding about what we desired, who we needed to be. Not only who they needed to be, but who we needed to be in this next relationship. And it made things so much smoother. And we weren't rushing into it. I didn't really think about it until we looked up and we started talking like, well, that's been 4 years. Like, both of us were like, it's been 4 years. But time just continues to go. But when you're taking care of business, when you're enjoying yourself, remember that was one of the 3 points too, just being happy within yourself. When you're enjoying yourself, enjoying life, building businesses, just doing what you need to do, then you're not concerned about, okay, I have to get in another relationship. You do it because you desire it, not because you need it. So hopefully that helped you. TR, how do you begin the conversation with someone you are starting to get serious with? Topics that are very difficult, for example, talking about money, illness, or taboo topics. Oh, that's a good question, TR. So, and I'll give you an example of even our relationship. But when you're getting to that point, and first off, he's asked you to take it to the next level. I want to make sure that's clear, because it doesn't automatically go to the next level because you start spending time with each other. And again, this isn't for TR. This is, whenever I'm answering questions, it's in general, just talking to everyone who's listening. So just because you've been with each other for a while, he's spending time with you. He may have even told you he loves you, or he really cares about you, or you met his family. That doesn't mean that you've taken it to the next level. That means that you've been around a while. And he knows that he has to say something different than just calling you, his friend or something. But I divert back to what you were asking. If you're starting to get serious with someone, topics that are very difficult. So whenever you're talking about topics that are difficult, first off, you gotta feel and see, okay, is this something, are we at a point in the relationship where this topic matters? Are both of you at the point where if you want to talk about kids or money, is he seriously talking to me about moving to the next level, or is this just something that I need to know because I want to make sure he's the right one for me? If you're at that point, everything that you do, you want to make sure you fill the room and you do it in a light, fun way. Now, some topics need to be a little more serious, but if you're talking about money, don't ask them how much money, how much money do you make? And is that enough for this or for that? No, like, what are your plans? Ask him about, like, what type of place he wants to live in, he sees himself living in. What type of investments are good investments that you would make? Like, things that lead to understanding how he views money, how he views this area. What do you think about, how are you with your nieces and nephews? Or, how are you around kids? Do you desire kids? That's okay to say. But when it comes to money, don't go into just asking him, giving him a list of how much money you make. Let me see your W-2. Let me see this. If you're going to the next level. Now, once you decide where it's like, okay, we're getting married, now you can say, okay, we need to know this before we take that next step. But if we're just getting serious, just ask him how he thinks about this. Ask him what are some of his desires in the next few, not in the next few years, but what are some of the things that he loves to do or that he sees himself doing in life, or how much money is a lot of money, things like that. But don't go into asking him to pull up his W-2, his credit score until you get engaged. Once you get engaged, pull everything out. Everything is on the table now because he's made a commitment to you. Until he's made a commitment to you in a form of wanting to get married, then it would feel weird for him to go in that direction because he'll be thinking like, we're not even talking about getting married. We're just together. So just look at the way he spends money, look at the way he does things, and with that, that'll give you an idea. Because if he's someone who wears all designers, he's got the newest car, he's, shined out with jewelry and everything like that, do you want to be with someone who spends money that way? Not to say that he doesn't have it, but do you want to be with someone who's so into themselves that they have to look a certain way, they always have to have the nicest thing, they get, everything is new, then forget how much money, his money spending, the way that he's spending money isn't healthy for the relationship. So more on the health side than specifically how much he has, just look at the patterns of how he does things initially. And when it gets to the point where he's asking you to be his wife, now you can ask him those harder questions where we've made a commitment to each other. I need to know these things before we take it to the next level, because not only is he going to be taking care of everything, things are going to be merged. He may have access to your accounts, and you need to make sure that he's a good steward more than, okay, he has $1 million in the bank, because no matter how much money a person has, if they don't have good money habits, that's why the money energetics this weekend with Natasha is going to be so good. If he doesn't have good money habits, good habits in general, then he's going to sabotage everything. So hopefully that helped, especially if you're not married. That's what that's for, if you're not engaged.
And then we also just did that communication masterclass.
Yes, last week's masterclass, communication masterclass, go check it out in the Feminine Energy Academy. We talk about communicating texting, communicating talking, just communicating overall with the man, how to go about communicating, and that expands even to money. So communication is communication. Once you're able to learn how to communicate, it doesn't matter what the topic is. You'll understand how to communicate your desires, communicate what's going on inside of you the right way. So great points. I just hadn't heard this discussed and thought I would ask. Thanks so much, Sammy. That was definitely a great question. Do you believe in second chances to people who used to talk to you from years ago and they come back into your life. See, they must have, this Alicia, I believe Alicia Love, they saw the glow up, they came back, and now they want to be in your life. Well, just a story about us. I mean, I guess I would be, first off, I would say yes. I do believe in second chances, depending on how the first one ended and depending on where that person is at in their life. Now, with us, we initially met in about, I believe, August of 2022. We met online. We talked for a while. We had great conversation. And December of 2022, nothing had progressed. It was a lot of talk. There was a lot of talking on the phone. And I hadn't made the move or come to see her. And at that point in December, October. Oh, October. I hear you. But in October is when we officially just stopped talking, right? She stopped, I believe it was a conversation. And then she let it be known that she didn't want to talk moving forward because it wasn't going anywhere. And, we didn't talk at all. But then in May of 2023, I reached back out to her. And when I reached back out, I understood that I had to come in a different way. I had to come with less talk and more action. So in September, we talked, and then we ended up, she ended up coming to, stopping through Chicago on a flight. I ended up meeting her there. We met previously out in Vegas the first time when we first met up. So we met initially, then we stopped talking. Then she was flying through Chicago about a couple of weeks after we started back talking. So I ended up going up to the airport, meeting her in between flights. Her flight got canceled one time, and they ended up staying downtown in Chicago when I was living there. And after that, she stayed downtown. I went back home, but we hung out that whole night. And we ended up just even getting more in contact, talking more. And then I ended up coming up to Canada in September. And from there, I stayed a month. I came back. And finally in December, I decided to move up there for good. So that right there was a second chance that she gave me, not because I was the greatest person ever or because it ended great, but because when I came back to her, I had a plan. I talked about being together. I talked about us potentially getting married. I talked about us being exclusive. And those things is what she was going to do if it was me or not. She told me that she was going to start dating in September. So September 1st, I show up in Canada. You're dating now, right? So, but it's really taking those steps, him showing that what he did before, he's different, he's changed, he's coming with a plan, he's coming into your life for a purpose. Otherwise, don't waste time if he's not coming with word, but most importantly, with action. If he's not coming with action, then you don't want to give somebody a second chance to do the same thing if he's not showing any different signs. So, yes, that was our story, so hopefully that helps you. Show me your bank account. Glow up alert. Why was he gone? Yeah, listen, men, this is the thing. And the men, because I was in the same situation, nothing that Natasha did. She was in position, she was ready initially. But a lot of times men sabotage because in our mind, we're trying to, just our nervous system is trying to bring everything together like, okay, this might be the person. Am I ready? Is she ready? Is my life ready for this? Especially if someone who has kids, am I ready to take on these responsibilities? I mean, in time, which is most important. With your finances, now you're sharing finances. It's just a whole change in your life. And sometimes men don't respond the right way initially. Once we take a step back and we go back out and we see it's a waste of time, now it's like, you know what, that was the one. So hopefully she's still available because she's not always available. But men a lot of times take that step that step back after initially liking and wanting to be with a person. And that's really men that maybe in their 30s or 40s, sometimes younger men that haven't gone through as much, they'll commit right away. But when they get in their 30s and 40s, they've been in relationships, they've started living life, they have bills, they have responsibilities. We kind of process things differently, and sometimes it's a self-sabotage. So it's nothing necessarily to do with her and her glow up, but it could be with him just like, okay, I got to make this decision and I have to give up this. I have to give up friends. I have to give up my time. I have to give up this to get something different. And not that you have to stop hanging out with those people, but they don't get as much as your time that they were getting it before. Your hobbies, you still do your hobbies, but maybe instead of doing it 3 hours a day, you may do it 1 hour a day. So men have to come to terms with that sometimes and make that decision, because even me coaching, a hobby, I was getting paid for it, but I had to make a decision. Okay, instead of coaching every day, here in Chicago, I got to go to Canada, and I may not be able to coach for 6 months, for a year. Can I do that? And again, now I'm coaching again as well in a couple of different sectors, but I'm back to coaching as well. So it's not that we don't get that opportunity again, but are we willing to make that sacrifice for the greater good? The self-sabotage is interesting. Yes, it is, Jackie. It's definitely interesting, and it's something that we do consistently. It's not anything against you or anybody else, but it's just men, it's just our nervous system. When something is, this might be the one, then that is, a lot of men have to take a step back and really decide, are they willing to make the change in their life? Not is she the one, but are they willing to make those adjustments? Because sometimes men can get so comfortable in their routine, don't want anyone to interrupt their routine, don't want to have to change in any way. They'll just say, it's easier, and in some cases cheaper, to just keep doing things the way I'm doing it. I'll just keep doing this, and I don't have to worry about anybody going into my pockets or anybody telling me that that you got to run to the store. We need something from the store. Or I forgot this. Can you find this? Can you get some water at night? Like things like that men don't think about. And based on where they're at in their life, they'll decide it's not worth it. And not to say that it's not, because I believe totally that it is, because your life gets better, things become easier, but it's that awkward time frame in between you making that commitment, getting married, going through what you need to go through to get to that place where you're settled, comfortable, and you have a new routine. Self-sabotage goes both ways. That's why men and women need to heal. Yes. That's why the Feminine Energy Academy, thanks for just pushing me right into that, Tisa, but men and women do need to heal. And it's important as you're going into relationship, as you're taking relationships to the next level, that your focus is on you, not on them, not on, they're narcissistic. They're doing this. They're always doing that. All of that can be true, but what is your responsibility in it? Because when you look at what you need to do, and you focus on that, you'll consistently attract the right type of people. Not people that don't have issues, but people that are focused on healing and doing things on their own. People that they may be a part of groups. They may read books. They may listen to audios. These people are doing exactly what you're doing because you're focused on yourself. Just like when Natasha and I, both of us have always listened to audios, read books, always done work on ourselves. So when we come together, now we just do it together, and we still do it individually. So you don't have to go out and get your questionnaire ready. Just become the person you desire. Become the person you desire, and you'll attract that person. We got a couple more questions. Self-sabotage. Yeah, Jackie, I'm scripting on a man that is ready for full commitment, spirituality, and mentality. I am also listening to audios daily. Jackie just spoke to my point. She's doing all that scripting. She's doing her inner work. I believe, I'm not sure if that's the Jackie and the Feminine Energy Academy, but she's doing what she needs to do. So you automatically are going to attract the type of man that you desire because you're attracting who you are. It's no other way around it. You're always going to attract who you are, and you just have to understand that. That's why it's so important that you continue to work on yourself to heal those areas. And we're always working on a different area of our life. But as we focus on ourselves, it's attractive to men. Men that see you really being someone who's accountable for your own life, who's accountable for your actions, who's looking at themselves and saying, okay, these are some adjustments I need to make. And I have one thing as well. Dr. Samo, my sister, she went through a similar situation. She spoke about it on the live as well, where she was divorced. She was in a long-term relationship, ended up getting divorced. Long-term marriage, ended up getting divorced, getting married after 50. So it's possible, ladies, to a healthy provider energy man. But during that time, she had to look internally. She had to lose some weight. She had to make some adjustments on how she talked. These are things that she said. I'm not saying this stuff. These are things that she told us. She told me. She had to change her body. She had to change the way that she spoke. She had to change. I mean, she's a professor. She's a PhD. So she's really an independent woman who's done well. But she had to make these adjustments to attract the healthy masculine energy man. So if she had to make those adjustments to get what she wanted, this is what everyone has to do. Not just women, but this is what everyone has to do. And we have to be willing to do it to get what we desire. Yeah, Jackie, I thought you were in there as well. So definitely tomorrow, anyone who's not in the Feminine Energy Academy, you can join for free. We have the 7-day trial, cancel anytime. Tomorrow, the master class, which is on the energetics behind money, healing money blocks, money wombs. Make sure you're there 9 a.m. Pacific time. Natasha's going to lead all you ladies in that, kind of give some of her testimonies on what she went through and her journey financially. It's not her journey on how much money she made, but her journey on how she was able to remove those blocks, those money wounds, just by the way that she was previously in her marriage, where she wasn't as involved financially, the things that she made decisions to do differently this time. So make sure you jump in the Feminine Energy Academy. We look forward to seeing all you ladies on there. Thanks for joining us today. Love you. Thanks for all the questions, and we'll see you on tomorrow.